She's been climbing the walls, figuratively. And if she could have, literally, gloomy day. I'm so charmed by this color. First saw this back in, God, April. Photographed it. And it hasn't, well, it's faded just a bit. I'd like to know what makes that. Same phenomenon as foxfire. Look at that. Beaver workings. I don't know. No, that's very mysterious. That's very recent. That's a popple. But where's the rest of it? It's gone. There's a little chunk of it down there. So they're still in the area. So where do they overwinter? Anybody know? Thankfully, they're not attacking the oaks. There are enough popple. Quiet country life. That's one upside of her being deaf. She can't hear. I've been looking at this pond from mostly the same vantage point up there for so long, and you get down here in it and see a whole different perspective. God, aren't these beautiful? French curves. And that's where the beavers were eating. When the first time I saw them, they came out from over there. Two of them. One submerged and went underwater. The other came up here and climbed on the bank and was eating. Oh. Come on, Suki. I see the blaze orange down there. Dennis, probably, or his son. I'm on our land, but nonetheless, I guess I should skedaddle. Well, that's a vivid example of population crowding more and more. People are crowding the natural habitats out. Just like that, where I'm not hunting, so I'm just not aware of crabbing the works for the neighbor who is hunting. He's on the edge. I mean, right on the edge of his north boundary, our south boundary. He isn't doing anything wrong or annoying or anything. I'm just observing how more and more people are pushing in. So, it's going to get dark early tonight. Looking at these chunks of wood, I noticed them a week ago. They were beginning to lean out a little bit. Oh, God, I don't want to come out in the morning and find half of the pile laying on the ground and needing restacking. So when I was sitting over there just now looking at this, it looked like it was happening again, but I guess not. And this is newer wood, so I can't begin to burn it yet. Relieve the pressure, the lean pressure. It's interesting, isn't it? What am I doing? She started an hour ago doing her, I said climbing the walls, but she would not stop moving. Around and around, up and down, inner kennel, out of the kennel. Then she came in the kitchen and stood and stared at me. And I said, no, it's not time yet, Suki, no. And she didn't walk away in disgust. She continued to stare at me. Oh, we gotta go outside. So that's what we're doing. God, it's quiet and still. Except for that pileated woodpecker and that car. Well, that pile of debris is out of control. I got to get it. I think I'm going to get a tarp over here, load it onto the tarp and drag it to the fire pit. Usually I do wheelbarrow, but that would take, well, it's so unwieldy. That stuff, you put 2 or 3 of those big chunks of bark in a wheelbarrow, and it's full. I have saved so much that I'm at the point where what do I do with it? Just burn it, I guess. The chainsaw, for a month or two using it, saw a log, keep it running, set it down, and more often than not it will kill. So the last month or two I've been sawing one off and shutting it off so it doesn't overload the engine, and then it's hard to start. Overloading means it's getting too much fuel, I think. So yesterday I decided, well, I'm going to set the idle. There's a little screwdriver that you push down this hole, and one way or the other, I don't know which way you turn it to up the idle, but no matter what I did, it would not change the idle. So I got to take that in, but I'm thinking if I get a $70 bill, that's what it cost me 2 years ago. I took it in, it wouldn't start or wouldn't run right. Carburetor needed cleaning, they said. I got it back and it ran fine, so okay, but $70. Well, a new chainsaw, that chainsaw new is $210 or $220. Depending on what it costs to have this thing fixed. And they don't call you and give you an estimate. They just fix it. $300? The only way we could find out what it needed was to tear into it. A new chainsaw, why? very typical. I've used it a lot. I got it in the spring of 2018. We were clearing the land yet. And I still think of it as new. But it's had a hell of a lot of work done with it. I know it's not worn out, but you get to a point where spending money on repairs, well, if I did buy a new one, what am I going to do with this old one? I'm just going to let it sit, not fix it. It's fixable. I nearly called up the authorities yesterday to have her arrested. We got back to the house after a walk out on the peninsula, and I don't know what I was doing. Oh, I guess I was getting firewood in the buckets. I had not been paying attention to where she was. When I did pay attention to where she wasn't anywhere. She's right here. Nose down somewhere. So I'm looking around. You know, she's wearing her vest, so it's pretty hard not to see her if she's within sight. This time of year, you can't get away from the sun in your eyes. From sun up till sundown, it is so low that you're always. And I don't have a stocking cap with a bill on it. So I have a growing sense of dis-ease, and I'm walking around looking in every direction there is. No, I can't see her. So if I'm going to go looking for her, which way do I go? We were out there. What do I do? I walked around the yard a little bit. I looked up the game trail. It goes up to the field, hoping like hell she hadn't run up there. But I didn't know, so I thought, well, the most likely might be down the driveway. So I head down the driveway looking. There's no sense in whistling. So I go walking down the driveway, you know, looking, becoming more and more agitated, because usually when I head for one direction or another, from wherever she is, she sees me and comes running to catch up. No. Finally, I'm almost under the power lines, and I hear the jangle of her tags. I look back. Here she's running full out to catch up to me. All right, okay. I don't know where you were. I don't like this, but all right. I turn around. We come back to the house. Get inside the entry, and I'm smelling food and thinking, what the hell is that? It's not a bad smell, but it's very noticeable, like an onion gravy. And the more it continued for the next 5 minutes, I thought, well, it's got to be something in the garbage. It's getting full, so I hauled that out. Good, that'll solve the problem. No, it did not solve the problem. So I went to sit and watch TV for a few minutes. She jumps up on the love seat. She lays down on the end closest to me. I'm sitting in the rocker, and I'm becoming more and more alarmed by this odor. I get up, and I look down at her, and there's a fringe around her neck of muck, beige muck. She had gotten into something and was so excited, enamored by it, wherever it was. Well, she had her fill because I wasn't able to yell at her or find her. Okay, that's what the thing is. Get into the bathroom, get out the handheld shower wand and connect it up, call her into the bathroom. Oh no, she doesn't want to come into the bathroom. She senses that there's an emergency going on and it somehow involves her. So I finally went up to the love seat, get a treat out, hold it to her, and she could sniff it. Oh yeah, okay. Got down off the love seat, followed me into the bathroom. I shut the bathroom door to keep her from escaping. Get the water turned on, nicely warm, get her into the shower, hose her down, shampoo her down, dry her off, and that's solved the odor problem. But, you know, I'm coming out here today. I don't want to let her out of my sight. I don't even want to walk up there. This has happened maybe a handful of times in the 11 years I've had her. She really wants to get moving. She doesn't care what we do as long as we do it. It's all right, Suki. I'm looking at the tree stand up there. It wasn't occupied yesterday, Monday. Today it hasn't been occupied. I'm wondering if they've gotten all the deer they can, or if they're sick of it. Yeah, good deal. I don't need to tell you how excited I am about the seems like fairly inevitable amount of snow we're gonna get beginning tomorrow. The radio is mostly ignoring us. I know what we got coming, and only once did I hear the very last end of the forecast. They said, you know, maybe a bit of snow up north. That's it. We are neglected. We are not cared for. We're not respected. We're a bunch of hicks up here. Who stand around beside bogs in blaze orange. Some dumbasses don't even shoot deer. I have broken the seal on this bay of firewood, and when this is empty, then I take this. You know, I really ought to stack that. This is a lot of oak, and then when that's gone, then I take this wood. I checked these pieces of wood. These came out of here that was felled in May, and they are 28% moisture content. That's good to know, because as I've mentioned, they should be 18% or less. And then I begin taking from here. And if I have to, then I begin taking from there, but that's, I don't know how that will be when we get to March. But it's birch, and that dries a lot quicker than oak. Stop talking and do some work.
And I made them again on Sunday.
We're
So
talking
getting
about
a-
reactions from a booster, if you get the right one or the wrong one. If you get the wrong one,
Well, I'll make them for you now so you can
show them off on
learn how to
YouTube.
do them yourself.
I can show you off on YouTube.
I don't need to be shown off.
Oh, here, I use this.
I know I'm just being a lazy ass. Thank you.
You're welcome.
And what I find is if I don't do a little bit less flour, it seems like there's always a little left over in the bowl that can't quite get incorporated. Sugar, where's that again?
Well, how much do you need?
2 teaspoons.
Yeah, in the back of that cabinet, the squeeze bottle. I have more. If you, yeah, there's enough in there. I'm dithering, aren't I? She said I'm
The recipe
distracting
calls
her.
for 3/4.
Hey, hey, hey! Just got it.
Pinching.
I'm really cracking down on her now. I mean, we've been doing this 11 and a half years, you think? What day is this? Oh!
Man, it's such a luxury not to make buttermilk.
Yeah.
I never buy it.
Oh, you don't?
No. Well, usually it's like, oh, I feel like making biscuits this morning, and I
right.
have everything except for buttermilk, so I just
and
make
that
it.
was only 79 cents.
Huh.
Well, then you might want to change your
Yeah.
recipe in the phone. Biscuits and gravy for supper. Those are the best parts. How much was the sausage?
That one's a little weird.
Oh, that won't taste very good at all. Well, you threw it all in. You're supposed to add it a little bit at a time.
Fine.
What?
Dad, I've made these before.
You haven't read the directions.
I did. I read the directions when I first started making biscuits and gravy, and now I make them.
And your directions were
heart.
wrong. They don't.
It's a joy. Are you worried that the whole thing's gonna go to shit now?
You're gonna get lumps. And
There's no lumps.
It's gonna break. It's gonna break my teeth.
Visited for a while.
No, come. Your parts. Shit. No.